Hey, this is John at Metric Partners. Today I wanted to walk through a really handy way to look at basically any kind of analytics traffic or marketing vendor traffic directly on your app on either iOS or Android. I'm going to be using Android as my example, and this is super cool because if you're needing to look at specific data, I'm going to be using Adobe Analytics as my example. And you want to look at all of the variables like the life cycle data, for example. You can use this method to do a quick validation. Basically, the way it's done is you have to set up a proxy, and I like using Charles Proxy. I've used that for years for various things, and it's a really handy app. So I'd highly recommend it. I'm going to walk you through how to use Charles as a proxy with your app. So basically, I have my phone in my hand right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm using this little cool tool called Vysor, and I can just connect directly to my phone. There it is right there. Super cool. You can see my phone now. So if anything, if you're ever doing Zoom meetings or whatever, I love this Vysor. It's really handy. It's a quick, easy way to broadcast your phone directly to your desktop. So that's how I'm going to walk you through how I set this up. First step is to connect to get your IP address on your desktop, your local area network IP. The reason we need that is because we're going to be proxying our phone to our desktop and then through Charles from there. So that's the approach we're going to use. Okay, so that's step one. Step two is then we basically connect, do the connection between the phone and the desktop. And then third is to get an SSL certificate from Charles Proxy, and that'll allow you to actually view encrypted data. I also wanted to walk you through quickly for Android. There's a caveat here, and this is right off of Charles' website. There's basically this setting. You have to add this directly in the app that you're going to be debugging. If you don't add this, it won't allow SSL user certificates to work, and we need that in order to actually look at decrypted data. So unfortunately, you can't just go in production, like a production app, and start messing around looking at people's stuff decrypted. iOS, you can actually do that with iOS. With Android, just make sure this stuff here is added directly in the network security config.xml file in the app. And if that's in place, we're good to go. So that's the one caveat there. That's just found here under charlesproxy.com documentation, just under the SSL certs part. So okay, so the next step is let's get started here. I'm going to go to settings. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to grab my IP address. You can go to your network preferences for that, and you should be able to see your IP. That's a quick and easy way to get that IP address. So go ahead and find that, hit pause if you need to, and make sure you got that handy. Once you got that, just make a note of it. You could even copy it, I guess, and then go to settings here and connections. your Wi-Fi network. Tap your network. You'll see that I'm assigned the IP 192.168.1.4. That's just what's assigned to my phone. I'm going to change that to the 1.10. You can do that under Advanced. And looks like I've already set it up here, so you'll see this will be set to none. I'm going to save that so you can see what that looks like. So I go to Advanced. Proxy will say none. You're going to set it to manual. And we'll type in 192, whatever your IP address showed. Yours could be different than mine. 1.10 was mine. The proxy port's going to be 8888. That's the default for Charles Proxy. Once that's set, just save it. I recommend is just come back here, make sure it says connected there. I've seen it where it says will connect soon or whatever. If it does that, just go in and set it up again. But it should say connected. So what that means is now I'm proxied from my phone onto into my desktop. So both devices have to be on the same Wi-Fi network. I forgot to mention that. So you have to be on the same Wi-Fi network, and that's all there is to it. So step one was get your IP address from the desktop. So you got that. Step two, make the connection from your phone to the desktop over port 8888. And step three is to get the SSL cert. So to get that, you can open Charles. I got Charles open right here. I'm going to clear my Mac OS proxy so it's kind of cleaned up there. Gets rid of kind of the noise there. I'm going to go to Help, SSL proxying. Grab this one here, install Charles root certificate. If you haven't already, you will actually need to, I believe, install a Charles root certificate for your desktop as well. Although I'm not positive if that's necessary. Probably best to do it though. So go ahead and install Charles root certificate first. Then when that's done, do the one for the mobile device. Here, you just tap on that. And it tells you, okay, configure your device to use Charles as its proxy, which we've done. So I punched in the 110.8888 straight on my device here. Then it says browse to this URL, so the CHLS Pro SSL. I'm going to go back to my browser on my phone. So you run this from your phone while it's proxied into Charles. So I'm jumping into Chrome. There we go. You'll see it download here. Just tap download. And then from here you can just swipe down. Tap right on the download. This is blanked out, but it's asking me for my PIN. It'll ask you for your PIN. So I'll just type in my PIN here. Okay. Then it'll ask you for a name. I'm just going to type in Charles for that. Now I have a user certificate that can act as a proxy to decrypt SSL traffic. So I can actually now, as long as that one feature that I showed you is enabled, this one back here, as long as this is enabled on Android, you're good to go. You'll see all this stuff decrypted. If I were to do it now, I'll open up an app here. Let's see, I'm going to go to Mimo. This is a cool little coding app. It's a lot of fun, kind of like Duolingo, just with JavaScript, CSS, kind of a fun little review app if you like coding. When I pulled that up, I don't know if you noticed, but here it started to show some of the hits. Now these are going to be decrypted, or encrypted, because they don't have that security feature enabled on their app. So for some reason I can't drill down into these. Oh, I see. I've got another window open here. Okay. So if I were to drill down into like their API, it's all unknown, which is good, but not good for us because we want to be able to decrypt that data. So as long as that one security feature is enabled, this is what you'll see. I'm going to open up another app here real quick, and I'll show you a screenshot of what that'll look like once it's once the decryption is working. So give me 1 second and I will pull up that other app. Okay, cool. I blurred out sensitive data here, but this is basically just a hit from demdex.net, the visitor ID service, or Adobe's ECID service. And you can see here it's all decrypted. I clicked on the request. You can see HTTPS, it's secure. Since the app has that security feature enabled to allow user certs, I can actually see the data decrypted. This is the dev version of the app. So there's the objects, the name value pairs you can see. And let me pull up one more example here to show like a lifecycle request. This is the ID service request. So let me now pull up a lifecycle request real quick. Here's what a lifecycle request would look like. This was coded directly just right within the app as a request. When you implement the SDK, it will automatically start tracking all these lifecycle name value pairs. So you can see like day of week, carrier name, launch event, all this good stuff. This is all lifecycle stuff. And then when you set a page name, it'll actually show up right here as well. Along with any other custom dimensions, you'll see other name value pairs here. You won't see vars and props because those are set in, those are mapped to these name value pairs through the mobile analytics interface in Adobe Analytics. So all the evars and props that you're probably used to seeing on the web, those won't show up here. You'll just see name value pairs. So that's all there is to it. I hope this was helpful. Hit us up with any questions. Feel free to reach out anytime.